Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, Do It With Me. Today I have a very exciting activity planned for us. But first I wanted to talk a little bit about a very important issue. Today we're going to be talking about plastic. And our activity is going to be something that you can do to help maybe reduce one of the ways you use plastic. I read this conspiracy theory on Reddit recently, so I'm not saying it's the most credible thing, and I'm calling it a conspiracy theory because, again, it is not the most credible thing. But basically, it was this guy saying that sustainability is a lie, and that basically the damage that we've done to our planet is irreparable. People are just using sustainability as like a marketing ploy to be able to raise the price on certain products. I didn't really believe this, but then I looked into it a little bit, and I found out that only about 10% of all plastic that's ever been made has been recycled. It's kind of hurtful to find this out, right? Just because it is recyclable doesn't mean it will get recycled. Even if you do your part to make sure it ends up in a recycling bin instead of the trash can. I have a dog, and I recently made the change from just regular doggy poop bags to biodegradable poop bags. I was just kind of put off by how much plastic I was using. I finally ponied up and I got these. I got these little poo bags. They're called the Wild One. Sorry, guys. The Wild One poo bags. They are eco-friendly, unscented, extra thick, leak-proof bags. They are made out of a plant-based starch blend. They're pretty cute. Kind of reminded me of my dog. I have an English bulldog, so I saw this image and I bought them because I'm easily influenced and it's something that I've been wanting to do for a while. So that's just one example of ways you can reduce your plastic trash usage if you have a pet. Another way you can decrease your plastic usage is a tote bag, which is actually in my car, because if I don't have it in the car, then I will forget it. And honestly, I've been kind of hating on tote bags as of late, because they require so much water to me. I wouldn't recommend really buying a tote bag if you don't have one already. What I've been seeing recently is that these people are doing something super smart, and they're putting laundry baskets in the back of their car whenever they go shopping. And so instead of taking bags, they just fill up the cart and then they transfer the items from the cart into the laundry baskets. And not only is this a great way to reduce plastic, but it also reduces the amount of trips you have to make from the car to the kitchen, because you put everything into the laundry basket and it's one trip. So it's really easy, it's good for the planet, and it's saving you some time. I know everybody hates doing several trips. But anywho, that's another way that you can try to reduce your plastic bag usage. And today's project, we are actually going to be making little snack bags. When it comes to Ziploc bags and like food packaging, there's not that many options, it would seem, but we actually have option one right over here. These are little silicone baggies. They are freezer safe, they are microwave safe. They're made out of silicone, so they're very durable. They're not biodegradable, but they're very durable. The brand that I have is Zip Top. You can't really see it, but it says it right over here. But these bags are actually a little bit expensive. Unfortunately, the set will cost you about $90. Nonetheless, I will be linking it down below if you are interested in buying some. I got mine at Target, but you can get it at Whole Foods, Target, pretty much like any store that sells like home supplies, I guess. And then this is another thing that I got. Instead of using saran wrap or plastic wrap, you basically just like put it on top of whatever you have and it seals it. So it comes in 3 different sizes, and I got these at Publix. You can get them at Aldi. I know Aldi has things like this. There's a lot of options that you have when it comes to cutting down on plastic waste, and these are just some of the many ways that you can support consumerism. But also, there are some at-home remedies, and that's what I will be talking to you about today. So I ordered this little beeswax. I'll link it down below. I got this on Amazon. It comes with 6 beeswax bars. Let's open it up and see. It was about maybe $8, which for 6 bars is not bad at all. And it comes with these beeswax bars. They are sealed and it doesn't come wrapped in plastic, so I appreciate that. There we go. I'm gonna show you guys how to make reusable snack bags using beeswax and just some scrap cotton that you may have lying around. So if you're interested in that, make sure to stay tuned, and thank you very much for listening to my rant about plastic. So to make these reusable snack bags and cut out Ziplocs, or to make your own little bowl covers instead of the silicone ones that I just showed, you're gonna need some beeswax, as I said. This is completely optional. I have read so many mixed reviews, so I will be testing one with and one without jojoba oil. You're gonna need some parchment paper. You are going to need some pieces of fabric, of course, because that's what you're going to be making your bag out of. They do say that it should be 100% cotton, and both of these are just scrap material that I have that are both 100% cotton. Since my beeswax is in a bar, I am going to be using a grater and a little Tupperware just to collect the shavings. You can use pellets, and a lot of people do, but I saw a lot of videos that said that the shavings actually melt a lot nicer. I can try to cut them into little squares that resemble beeswax pellets, but I will try it out and we'll see how it goes. So the first thing you're gonna need to do is measure off the size. I measured 14 inches by 7 inches. Now I'm gonna go ahead and grab my Singer scissors. They did not have pinking shears at Publix, so I was not able to purchase that. But if you do have them, or if you want to buy them, that's what they recommend using so that the bags don't fray. Yeah, try to keep it as straight as possible because they will be little baggies, but this is my first piece. And I gave myself a little bit of extra room just in case they weren't perfectly straight. And I'm also going to be making maybe 10 by 10 inch snack bag. I think I actually benefit tremendously from drawing a straight line across. I'm not very good at doing straight lines. They also have these little bags for sale on Etsy and like creative little shops like that if you don't really want to make them, but you do like the idea of them. And obviously they have very cute fabric. So right off the bat, I can tell I didn't do a very good job making it straight, so I will have to try a little bit harder. I'm just gonna make these 10 by 10. So although these scissors, I'm pretty sure are made for fabric, this is probably just not the best fabric. And the sides did fray. You can grab a lighter and you can just try to go along the edges and burn off any fray. Be sure that you're very gentle because if not, you will burn the actual fabric. This fabric is very thin. Maybe I would recommend in the future like using a t-shirt. Remember, here we do not let anything go to waste. So the next thing that we're gonna wanna do is shave our little beeswax. I'm gonna use my regular old cheese grater. I'm gonna use probably not the finest, but also not the biggest, just the in-between size. And I'm just gonna go ahead and this is about how much shavings I have. It's a pretty good amount. So I'm gonna be using this little cube. Okay, so I just finished cutting up some, the rest of that beeswax, and obviously I couldn't cut it into round pellets, but I did manage to get them pretty small. So this is them. These are the pellets. We are going to try to make our first little bag. Before we start, we want to make sure we lay one piece of parchment paper down below the fabric so that the beeswax does not get onto our ironing board, and one piece of parchment paper above so it doesn't get all over our iron. And finally, we begin placing the shavings on the fabric. I was being very stingy with the beeswax. I thought a little would go a long way, and that is not the case. You should use a lot more than I did. I had to repeat the process a couple of times, but no worries. If you want to be stingy, you can. You just have to lift up the parchment paper and find out that you don't have enough. Make sure you extend yourself to the edges because you don't want to leave any piece of the fabric forgotten. Beeswax has a pretty low melting temperature, so you do not really need to warm it up that much, but still, I had a hard time because I put it way too low. I found that the perfect preset for it was the cotton preset that my iron had installed on it. I took the sign that it was done when the whole fabric had the same color and it was dark throughout. It looked like it was covered in beeswax. I took it out of the parchment paper and I hung it up to dry. It only took about 2 minutes. For the second one, I used a little bit of jojoba oil and I just used about 10 to 15 drops because my pumps are actually quite big. I ran out of beeswax, so I had to grate some more, and unfortunately my camera reached its recording limit, so I don't have any footage of the finished product with this method, but I can say that the jojoba oil, I found it doesn't really make any major differences. If you have it lying around at home and you want to use it, go ahead, but do not spend any money on it for sure. And for our third and final method, we are going to be using a baking tray, a piece of parchment paper, and an oven. What I did is I put half shavings and half pellets just to see if there would be any difference. And I put it in the oven for about 6 minutes at 220 degrees because, as I said earlier, wax melts at a very low temperature and you don't need to make it hotter than that. Overall, I found that my favorite method was definitely using shavings, no jojoba oil, and just ironing it away. I found it was the easiest, the quickest, and had the best results. Yeah, so this is pretty much how I feel after this. I don't really know how to explain what went wrong. The wax went through to the other side. I don't think it's an issue because it's natural, so it shouldn't be harmful. In many of the tutorials that I saw, there was a very clear side distinction. There's really no distinction at all. But yeah, I think that this is a great little bag. Will I be throwing them away? No. But I also wouldn't feel comfortable putting these up on Etsy. Now, if you don't like crafting, but you do like saving the planet on a budget, and you don't want to spend a ridiculous amount of money on like the silicone reusable bags, you could always go on Etsy and buy these things. People make really pretty ones. They're super easy to wash. All you have to do is literally run them under cold water and hang them to dry. That's it, and they're ready to be reused again. I have a lot of beeswax left, so I might make a candle. Comment down below if that's something you'd be interested in seeing. Let me know down below in the comments what you thought of this, if you're gonna try to make your own beeswax bags, or if you're gonna look into other sustainable options that can help you reduce on your plastic waste. Or if, yeah, I don't know, just comment down anything in the comments below. Anything you want, really.